Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Un Beyond Mindset podcast. I am your host, Marisol Uribe. And today I've got a very special guest. His name is Santiago Gil, and he has a brand of the Ecom Bulldog. He also has Lawtino solutions going on. And so he is a master when it comes to leverage. So using credit to scale the business that you are in. Now, he can tell you much more about it. Let's take advantage of these 20 minutes or so to get the most out of this interview. So I'm so happy to have you.
Well, thank you very much, Marisol. I promise to give you and your viewers an ROI on these next 20 or 30 minutes. Like Marisol mentioned, thank you. First of all, grateful to be on for you and your viewers. And my name is Santiago Gil. I'm Peruvian. My mom came to this country when I was 2 months. Then I got sent back to Peru, and then I came back when I was 5. My mom definitely has been, a leading force in my vision. She worked at a sweatshop, cleaning homes, to owning her own travel agency. And she would always work, work, work. And me as a child, I never saw it. I was like, why are you always working? And, I slowly began to realize, like, when you're passionate about something, it's not really work. She
Right.
loved what she did. And so just a little synopsis about me. I went to the Marines at 17. I was going through the wrong path. Went to the Marines, did 9 years, 2 tours in Iraq, came out of the Marine Corps, wanted to do law enforcement. Everyone that's, as a Marine, you can only do a few things, right?
Yeah.
So wanted to do law enforcement, worked at USC public safety. And then there was another passion where, like, a lot of my Marine buddies were going to jail for
Mm,
DUIs, domestic violence. So there was
mm,
a dark thing with what they were going through. So I took a law path where I wanted to become an attorney to help them with what they got going on. And I went to USC for law. And then after I graduated USC, then my passion kind of like died down. I was like, there's more. I feel like I'm working check to check. I'm not making ends meet. So that's what, made me go into entrepreneurship ultimately after my car got repossessed, my home got foreclosed, almost got foreclosed, I'm sorry. And then, kind of like tapped in to Driven and all these, you know,
and
elevating circles.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
people see the end reward, which I'm still not where I'm at. I'm still not suffice. I'm not comfortable, and I'm always striving for, the next goal and the next goal and the better version of myself. And what's good is that, we're in a position where we're able to enlighten other, especially Latinos that don't know any other way. All they know is work, right? Come home, right? 2 weeks a year, maybe a little vacation. And that's something that I read, right? Poor people work to pay bills, middle class people work for vacation and pay the mortgage, and then wealthy people, they work for money to make more money.
Yeah. Think for the future
Yes.
and the compounding results of your efforts, right?
And then
That's amazing.
that's key. And like I said, for me, like I said, I love educating, Latinos. That's why I started a YouTube channel, just to kind of give free information. I feel like when you're passionate about something, you want to share it. And, like, I'm sure that made you start this channel, or just kind of give back to other people just so they can, chime in, see what they can learn, maybe one little nugget or two. Because
Yeah.
when we go to these conferences, we expect to gain so much vast information, and all you really need is like one little connection, one nugget, apply it, execute it within 48 hours of the conference, and you're golden.
Right. So, yeah, for me, the Un Beyond concept started with my single on YouTube, Amazon, or not Amazon Music, yeah, Apple
Nice.
Music. And so it's in Spanish, but the concept is to help a billion people. And
Damn.
along with that, people come on here and they say their different definitions, and it's so nice to hear that most of them have not been monetary. And so, but money definitely helps. We hear it from all these mentors, great speakers. And yeah, Santiago is one of these people, guys, that he has his own YouTube channel, Ecom Bulldog. We're here to provide value to you guys because we want to see you succeed. We want to see you maximize your potential, whatever that may look like for you. So tell me, let's backtrack a little bit to how you made a decision to pivot. You made that mental decision to pivot. So you had a great education at USC. Congratulations on your success thus
Thank you.
far. But a lot of people don't really think like us, right? They don't create a concept, this entrepreneurial venture to just kind of, okay, I need to work for myself now. And what would you tell that person who has thought of maybe launching a prototype, a
Mm,
product,
good.
and
So,
is stuck?
okay, cool. So I'll be clear. I did not quit my job until my second income started making more money than my first income. Right? A lot of people they think that quitting your job is the first move. Do not do that, please. Once your second income starts producing more, it's kind of like, okay, cool. Now, if I focus 48 hours on my second income, then I'll get probably farther because now I'm betting on myself. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, was the light bulb was when I was juggling Amazon and juggling, USC public safety. I was kind of getting in trouble. I was getting in trouble where like I'd show up to work 5 minutes before, right? Uniform wasn't the best polished, right? Like little things I would do because my mind was always on my business. It wasn't on USC, which technically you're there to protect and serve and all this stuff. But unfortunately, I wasn't there. I was more passionate about being an entrepreneur, about doing Amazon. And I remember being in the lieutenant's office and he was like, yelling at me or not yelling at me, but like scolding me for something that I did, which I deserve. I know, hey, LT, I'll take the hit like a man. I'm not fully there. And he would even tell me, like, are you doing something else? And I remember that day I had, somebody, paid me some money or whatever. And I think I made like 5 grand that day. Right. And I already made more money. Right. So it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, you know what? I think it's time for me to, just not, my time has come. I told my lieutenant, hey, LT, sorry, but, I think I'm going to have to, leave. And I didn't give my 2 weeks because I feel like if you give your 2 weeks, you want to come back. And I know every
Oh,
employer deserves 2 weeks, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But they had enough officers and I just didn't want to come
Okay.
back. So, yeah, that was kind of like where I knew that there was more once the second income started making more money than first income.
Santiago, so did you make it like a 1 day out, like an exit after you
Yeah,
said that?
so this is kind of emotional because my wife and my kids, that's all they knew was USC, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, my son is applying at USC right now, but more like in the entrepreneurship business program because he sees what I did and the route
Mm-hmm.
that he wants to take. And
Good.
I'm not taking away that from our children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I open the door for them? Yes. He's been a 4.0 student since he was in seventh grade, right? So obviously, he knows working for himself is the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
He likes USC because he was growing up into that campus, so he kind of, looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to seeing those results. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, ultimately, I quit that day, 11 o'clock at night, turning my badge, driving home, right? And I've been working there 7 years. And people don't realize sometimes if you work 9 to 5, because I was technically a 9 to 5 worker, you work 9 to 5, but 6 to 2 is to work on them skills. So 9 to 5 pays the bills, 6 to 2 work on them skills. So while I was working, I was still working on my business. I was still working on creating content. I was still, I'd be going to work sometimes and my coworkers would see my Instagram and they'd be like, what is this guy doing? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was kind of like I was living 2 lives, but
Getting curious, maybe a little hate, maybe a little envy,
oh yeah, yeah, all that.
the
And
bureaucracy.
I'd be
Yeah.
excited. I'd be anytime with e-commerce, I'd be excited on the days I made $100 in sales. To me, I felt like 1,000 or 10,000, and I would share that with my coworkers to like let them know what's possible. And for me, it was like I want them to see the journey, but they were just kind of like laugh about it or
Mhm.
okay, cool, man, keep it going. and then, just, I think whatever you do in life, people are always going to say something.
Right.
It's going to be more bad than good, right? But someone that doing better than you or actually likes inspiring people will never throw hate or will never throw shade. So lately I've been like kind of been more, more real, obviously addressing the elephant in the room, things like that, right? Like it has to be said just so people to showcase if I can inspire someone else to step out of their shell, create something, help out another person, that's the key. If you can find a way to make an extra $1,000 and you've done it multiple times and you can show someone that, right? That's your extra source of income, you know?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. So I'm here with Santiago, and he was just telling me about his multiple streams of income, right? The mentality behind not doing the 9 to 5 anymore, working on your skills from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., right? And I'm telling him about how I was a nurse, how I am a nurse by trade, but I also went ahead and launched my first product. It's a book available on Amazon Kindle, Audible, and it's called Un Beyond Mindset Health. So aside from that song, aside from this podcast, now I created this book and I want to share it with all of you. But yeah, kind of think about your own life and what you're doing right now, and if you could monetize in a different way, because I'm sure the answer is yes. So tell me a little bit more about your story, Santiago,
Okay.
about your mindset and what you're doing today.
So a big gem, and I think for me was, and I think most Americans, how many times do you think they swipe their card a month? And I don't know if you heard that before.
A lot. Do
All
you
right.
have
So
the statistic?
the average American swipes it 144 times. That's with, haircut, nails, dinner, movies, you name it, 144 times. And how many deposits are they getting a month?
Yeah, 1 to 2. Yeah.
1 or 2, right? Like the average person, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is why it's key to have multiple sources of income. My
Mm-hmm.
whole goal, right? I don't know if you see it behind me, is
Mm-hmm.
right there, right?
A
So if you
million a
see right there,
year.
$2,739 a day is towards the $1 million goal a year. But if you have that
Mm-hmm.
programmed in your head or you're always looking at it, right, it could be attainable. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that your brand is 1 billion because you're trying to reach 1 billion, I think it's so impactful because let's just say, right, you are reaching 1 billion and let's say you reach 500 million, right? Check this out though, right? You get to inspire 500 million. Now that's bigger than you just putting on there instead of 1 billion, 100 million, right? Because you're reaching more, right? For what can possibly, end up being. Now, if you want to surpass 1 billion, that'd be even better, right? But that's the possibility of the mind, of the limitless mind. Like it is powerful. We have to know, we have to think bigger, ultimately believing with ourselves what we're due, what we can do, and master our skills. Don't focus on the money. You just inspired people by making that book. I've been trying to, you know, write a book and kind of go through that path with whatever I got going on because people are doing it. That's an extra source of income, but you did it ultimately to help people. Like this Amazon stuff, I ultimately
Yeah.
did it to help myself first. But then when I created this like cheat code, I know it can be done. So and also that drew me into like credit repair because we're more than credit repair. We also educate our clients on credit because we're not. I can't change behavior,
Right.
right? That's key. I can give you, get you to a 750 credit score, you know, open up a secured card, credit union, open up a self account, kickoff account, do a pledge loan. I could do all that. But if you're getting a credit card and you look at it as free money, look at it as a business opportunity. And then that's where it gets big, right? I think, for us, like Latinos, we look at credit cards as a negative thing, right? They don't you really use it as leverage of what could be, right? If I can tell you, if I can get a $10,000 credit card from a credit union, use that to buy a mechanical bull that costs $3,500, and then you rent that on the weekends, using Facebook Marketplace. Now you're making $500 a day renting out that mechanical bull that you're earning passively because you're not physically there. Right? That's a
Nice.
different, and you're using the bank's money. You take those wins, those profits, pay off the card little by little. Ultimately, the card is, debt free from the card, and then you buy another mechanical bull. And that's just, I'm giving you guys an example. Like, that's kind of the trend right now. I see in, Facebook and parties and stuff that people are doing.
Do you think the credit bureaus see healthy to see multiple credit accounts open, right, diverse, and have like a little bit of balances owed on each?
So good question, Mar. So I think a lot of people need to work on their personal credit first. I would say, this is me, and I know maybe that'd be a stretch for some, have at least 100,000 in personal credit, right? And then switch all that to the business side. So one thing that people don't consider is that business credit, because business credit, I can use up $10,000 of my card and it won't report to my personal, unless it's a Capital One business card. They report to your personal, and it does. You know what I mean? So my personal is everything. But if I have, like, I just bought a car and I put that under my business name. I bought a Tesla and then the Corvette. It's more, I don't want to show that on the personal because that makes me a liability. Right?
I see. So and you can write off your car under your business.
Yes.
For tax purposes, right?
Exactly.
Marketing.
But you want to get to a point where you're like, let's say 50 to 80,000 in credit. Cool. Now I'm good. I have available credit here. Now it's time to apply for business because you're the personal guarantee, right? You're applying at a car you're applying for a business credit card, an Amex business credit card. Your social is going to personally guarantee that business card.
I see.
So,
hypothetical.
Yeah.
The person just has, say, 30 grand on their business credit line, but personal, it's like 10 or 15.
Okay.
So you're saying you should shoot for a greater personal before you get into the business stuff?
Yeah, I say both, because what people don't realize, when you're in personal, you got maybe personal debt. How do you hide that? You can hide that by opening up business cards and then doing a balance transfer. Right? So I'm like, I'm $10,000 in debt. Right? With nothing. Right? Well, it's fine. You get in debt, but use that debt and hopefully it's producing you money. If you're in debt because you're going to Hawaii every 6 months, right? And you're living a lifestyle that you shouldn't, then obviously but if you're buying, hey, I'm using my card so I can go to this growth event and I'm going to this network and I'm paying this mastermind, that's an investment in yourself. So that right there is good debt. But yeah. So
it's actually business debt.
Yes.
With those examples, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, for my, multiple people I have in my circle, they're like, hey, Ecom, I have this credit card and I have this. So, okay, like he had a $3,000 or $7,000 debt on his Chase, right? And then he had like a $10,000 new card that he just got. So what I said was, take your Chase. There's ways to turn credit into cash, right? You can go buy gift cards. You can do this. It's a lot. You turn it into cash. You pay off that $7,000, right? And then you ask for a credit limit increase on your Chase. So from 7,000, you go to like 14 or 15. Now you have more credit utilization available.
You rewatch this part.
No, yeah. So I'll give you a quick hack for your viewers. For example, hey, Ecom, I only have $1,000 in credit card. Okay, I don't want to use it. I'm scared to use it. I might go over this and that. Okay, I'll show you one quick way how you can use it without really using it. This is one quick way. This is we're doing low. So $1,000 credit card, right? You go to Albertsons and you buy a $500 gift card. $500, make it graduation, birthday, whatever it is. Yes, there's going to be little fees, but don't think about the little fees. Okay, you go buy the gift card, swipe $500. They might look at you funny, because no one's really swiping that. I've done it where like I'm getting $2,000 gift cards, like $500 ones. So they give you the gift card, cool. You then go across to where the money orders are, and they're gonna ask you, "Hey, how you doing?" You go say, "Hey, can I get a money order? How much do you want?" $4.99, because the money order costs 89 cents. So technically, the gift card has 500. You want a gift card? You want a money order for $4.99? Okay, that's fine. Debit or cash? You never say gift card. You say, "Oh yeah, debit." Put in the gift card. The gift card, you can put a pin instantly. Once you use it, all right, sir. Here's the money order. You get the money order. You deposit it into your bank, and then you pay off the card. So that's how you do it. You do that 2 or 3 times. By the third time, that $1,000 is going to turn you to in 3 to 5,000. Because they see that you're spending the card, they want to give you more credit limit. You are responsible. So that's just one of the ways turning credit into cash. There's a lot of ways. I can put it on my Venmo, put credit card, and then send you $500. Whatever the fees are, just send me the money back so I can pay off my card. Things like that. But it's just educating on what you can do with the credit.
This was gold. Gold. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to his channel so you get more valued guests just like this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. The last question I have to wrap up is, what is that $1 billion mindset? What does that mean to you? How would you define that?
I think, okay, good question. And I'm going to give kudos where it's due. I heard Brad Lee. You met Brad Lee, right? A couple times?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think he's on the right track, right? Like if I were to give you $1 million or $5 million, but if you don't wake up tomorrow, would you take it? People would say, "What? I don't get to wake up tomorrow? What, for 5 million? No, I'm not going to take that." So, we wake up and we're precious with life, but we're not doing anything with it. But if you're valuing your life at more than 5 to 10 million, then wake up and then execute something. So my $1 billion mindset is I want to build, everyone talks about generational wealth, right? And I'm saying it right here on this podcast. Like my son will own property before he's 20. So my daughter, who's 14 now, will own property when she's 18. Okay.
Beautiful.
So, have that mindset. But thank you very much, Marisol. Appreciate it.